Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we are looking at a paper trending on X, published on November 23, 2025, about 6 days ago. And this paper digs into how well large language models actually forecast future events when we step beyond their training cutoff. It shows that forecasting skill is highly uneven, with some models doing well on structured areas like politics or geopolitics, but stumbling badly in noisy domains, and that adding real news can either sharpen or completely derail their predictions. The paper is titled, Future is Unevenly Distributed. Forecasting ability of LLMs depends on what we are asking. And as we will see later, the way context helps in some categories and hurts in others has big implications for how we evaluate and deploy these models in the real world. Alright, the opening figure makes the punchline very concrete. Figure 1 shows that adding news boosts accuracy in finance, politics, and sports, but it actually harms accuracy in entertainment, geopolitics, and technology. The top panel illustrates modest gains when news is present, which suggests that structured, data-rich domains benefit from extra context. The bottom panel highlights sharp drops, tied to rumor overweighting, definition drift, and recency bias. So while Figure 1 focused on performance outcomes, Figure 2 explains how the forecasting dataset gets cleaned before evaluation. Figure 2 shows a 3-step pipeline that starts with volume filtering, which trims out low activity or noisy markets. The second block classifies remaining questions into categories and subcategories. The final block removes questions that are irrelevant to forward-looking, real-world events. Well, after Figure 2 described the dataset pipeline, Table 1 reports how each model performs without any news context. The table shows that geopolitics and politics reach the highest accuracies, often above 80%, while finance and sports sit closer to coin flip levels. Breyer scores and expected calibration error reveal that even accurate models can be miscalibrated, especially in entertainment and technology, which means their stated probabilities do not reliably match real-world frequencies. Alright, Table 2 contrasts those baseline numbers with performance when news context is added. The table shows that finance and sports accuracies rise for most models, with GPT 4.1 hitting about 68% in finance and DeepSeek R1 about 64% in sports. Geopolitics and politics stay strong, especially for GPT-5 at roughly 84 and 72%. However, entertainment and technology often gain little and sometimes show worse Breyer scores and calibration, which signals overconfident but shaky probabilities. So the big message is that forecasting skill is not a single number. For large language models, it depends heavily on domain and on how we frame and context the question. That means real-world deployments need careful scaffolding, not blind trust in raw probabilities. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.